Death of a President. Suppose it is 2006, and a movie drops in theaters that everyone can't stop talking about. But this wasn't your feel-good blockbuster. It was Death of a President, a fictional story about the assassination of then-President George W. Bush. That is not exactly light entertainment, and it sparked backlash almost immediately. The film debuted in Canada and the UK, where audiences got to see this dark political what-if scenario unfold. But when it tried to make its way across the border to American theaters, the backlash was intense. Major theater chains like AMC, Regal, and Cinemark weren't having it. Regal's president, Dick Westerling, made it clear, saying, "It is just not cool to show something like this." Even CNN and NPR, big names in the media world, refused to air advertisements for the movie. For many Americans, Death of a President became a ghost, banned and buried before they could decide for themselves whether it was thought-provoking or just plain offensive. In the end, the controversy overshadowed the film itself, and it became one of the most notorious cinematic casualties of the year. Hillary, the movie. Documentaries aren't supposed to cause this much chaos. But in 2008, Hillary. The movie turned the world of politics and film on its head. The film was a scathing critique of presidential candidate Hillary Clinton, released right before the Democratic primaries. Here's the catch. The Bipartisan Campaign Reform Act of 2002 had strict rules about electioneering communications. Basically, if you wanted to publicly criticize a candidate within 30 days of a primary, you were breaking the law. So, when the film's creators tried to stream it on cable TV's on-demand services, the Federal Election Commission stepped in like a referee and blocked it. Of course, the filmmakers weren't going down without a fight. They took the case to the Supreme Court, and in a landmark ruling, the ban was overturned. This decision helped ignite the famous Citizens United v. FEC case, which changed how money and political speech interact in America forever. But for a moment in 2008, Hillary. The movie was a battle cry for free speech and political influence. The Mouse from Hunger. Let's take a lighter turn. Well, sort of. Back in 1967, The Mouse from Hunger hit theaters as a fun and quirky Tom and Jerry cartoon directed by Chuck Jones. It was full of laughs and action, as you would expect from those two chaotic characters. But fast forward to 1999, and the cartoon's bright future hit a major snag. The problem wasn't the humor or the antics. It was the visuals. Turns out, the film had some rapid, flickering scenes that could trigger epileptic seizures. Networks like Cartoon Network and Boomerang decided they couldn't risk it, so they banned the cartoon from airing entirely. For fans, this harmless little gem became a treasure that could only be found on collectible home video releases. A once-beloved cartoon was locked away, not because of controversy, but because safety had to come first. Even today, The Mouse from Hunger remains one of those rare pieces of animation that is hard to find unless you know where to look. Bill Cosby, 77. This one is a different kind of ban, but no less dramatic. In 2014, Netflix was all set to release Bill Cosby, 77, a stand-up comedy special showcasing the legendary comedian doing what he did best. The release date was locked for November 28th, and fans were ready. But just 10 days before the big premiere, everything fell apart. News broke about the sexual assault allegations against Cosby, and the backlash was immediate. Netflix acted fast by pulling the special and shelved it indefinitely. Unlike most banned films, Bill Cosby 77 didn't cause controversy because of its content. It was Cosby's personal life that turned it into an untouchable project. To this day, the special remains unreleased. It exists more as a cautionary one than a piece of entertainment. Before we move on, hit the like button if you're enjoying this video. Also, make sure to comment down below if you've seen any of these movies. If no, which movie do you think is missing from this list? Anyways, back to the video. Gone with the Wind, it is one of those movies that felt untouchable for decades. Released in 1939, it quickly became the gold standard for epic storytelling, with grand sets, unforgettable characters, and a sweeping narrative about love and war. Your grandparents probably called it a masterpiece. But then came 2020. Amid the George Floyd protests, people started re-examining the movie's portrayal of slavery and the Civil War. Suddenly, its rose-tinted depiction of the antebellum South didn't sit right in a world pushing for racial accountability. HBO Max stepped in and made a bold move. They pulled it. For the first time since its release, Gone with the Wind was effectively banned. Now, it wasn't gone forever. HBO Max eventually brought it back, but with a new disclaimer that contextualized its controversial themes. Still, for a brief moment in 2020, this iconic film became a symbol of how the past can clash with the present. An American Tale, The Mystery of the Night Monster. Here's a story that will surprise you. In 1999, Universal released An American Tale, The Mystery of the Night Monster, a seemingly innocent animated adventure about Fievel, a little mouse on a big mystery-solving mission. Kids loved it, and it felt like just another fun addition to the American Tale series. Fast forward to 2017, and things got weird. Universal Kids decided to pull the movie from its lineup, and no one gave a clear explanation. The official reason was silent, but speculation ran wild. Some thought the film's themes, like fear, manipulation, and an odd, age-disparate relationship, were a little too edgy for a younger audience. By 2019, it reappeared on Freeform with a TV PG rating, which sparked even more curiosity. What was once just another kids' movie had turned into a strange case of, is this even appropriate for kids? While it wasn't banned worldwide, its mysterious removal left fans scratching their heads. The Interview. Oh boy, this one was a roller coaster. In 2014, The Interview hit the headlines before it even hit screens. Starring James Franco and Seth Rogen, it was supposed to be a hilarious satire about two guys recruited to assassinate North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. Sounds like the perfect popcorn flick, right? Well, North Korea didn't think so. Before the movie could premiere, a hacker group calling themselves the Guardians of Peace threatened Sony Pictures. These weren't just empty threats. Sony's systems got hacked, private emails were leaked, and the fallout was messy. Sony decided to pull the plug in several countries, including Japan and South Korea, and the film only got a limited release in the US. Despite all the drama, or maybe because of it, the movie became a legend. It was banned outright in North Korea, obviously, and sparked debates about free speech, international diplomacy, and just how far comedy can go. By the time the dust settled, The Interview was already something more than just a movie. It was a moment. The Simpsons movie. Now, let's get into something truly bizarre. The Simpsons movie dropped in 2007, and fans were thrilled. Who wouldn't want to see Homer, Bart, and the whole Springfield crew on the big screen? It had laughs, heart, and even Spider-Pig. But then, Myanmar came along and said, not so fast. Turns out the movie's crime wasn't its jokes or its story. It was its colors. Red and yellow, the dominant hues in the movie, were banned in Myanmar because they were associated with rebel groups. Lisa Simpson in her red dress? A big no-no. Homer's yellow skin? Even worse. Myanmar's military junta declared the movie a threat to public peace and yanked it from theaters. It wasn't until 2015, after significant political changes in Myanmar, that the restrictions loosened. But for those years in between, The Simpsons movie was banned and practically erased, all because of a color palette that Springfield fans around the world know and love. Minions: The Rise of Gru. In 2022, Minions: The Rise of Gru hit theaters, giving fans another dose of chaotic yellow energy. This time, the Minions joined a young Gru on his quest to become a full-fledged villain. With plenty of laughs and quirky antics, it seemed like another family-friendly hit. But then, Lebanon said, hold on a second. The problem was a character named Nunchuck. She is a nun, sure, but instead of spreading peace, she wields nunchucks like a pro martial artist. It was all meant to be over-the-top and goofy, but Lebanese authorities didn't find it funny. They claimed the character portrayed nuns as evil and banned the movie outright. While other countries embraced the film for its slapstick humor, Lebanon stood firm and put Minions, The rise of Gru on its blacklist. It is wild to think a movie about banana-loving minions caused such a stir, but sometimes it is the smallest details that spark the biggest reactions. The Da Vinci Code. When the Da Vinci Code hit theaters in 2006, it was already a magnet for controversy. The film, based on Dan Brown's best-selling novel, followed symbologist Robert Langdon, Tom Hanks, as he uncovered a conspiracy tied to the Catholic Church. It was a thriller steeped in art, history, and some eyebrow-raising questions about religion. For some, it was just a gripping mystery. For others, it was outright blasphemy. Religious groups protested the film's release, and several countries, including Pakistan, Egypt, Samoa, and Sri Lanka, banned it. They argued that the movie twisted Christian beliefs and disrespected sacred traditions. The outrage didn't just come from religious institutions. Audiences in these countries were also deeply offended. Ironically, the bans only amplified the film's popularity. People who might have skipped it suddenly wanted to see what all the fuss was about. By questioning long-held religious narratives, the Da Vinci Code turned into a cultural flashpoint that sparked heated debates worldwide. 2012, Roland Emmerich loves destroying the world on the big screen. He has practically built a career out of it. In 2009, he released 2012, a disaster epic filled with jaw-dropping CGI destruction and edge-of-your-seat moments, as John Cusack and his crew tried to survive the end of the world. Audiences around the globe flocked to see it, except in North Korea. Now, North Korea isn't exactly known for appreciating Hollywood blockbusters, but the reason for banning 2012 was oddly specific. See, 2012 wasn't just another year for them. It marked the 100th anniversary of Kim Il-sung's birth, the founder of the nation. It was also the year his son, Kim Jong-il, declared North Korea would rise as a global superpower. So, while the rest of the world watched tsunamis swallowing cities and the earth splitting apart, North Korea decided it didn't fit the image they were going for. A movie about the planet crumbling into chaos? It was not the best look during a year they had hyped up as their ultimate moment of glory. For them, 2012 was less Hollywood blockbuster and more bad PR. In a country where controlling the narrative is everything, the idea of the world falling apart in such a symbolic year was just too much to handle. So, no John Cusack dodging disaster for North Korean audiences. Instead, they stuck with their vision of triumph, while 2012 remained another forbidden fruit of the West. Barbie? Barbie! The name alone screams fun, pink, and over-the-top fabulousness. In 2023, Margot Robbie's Barbie movie took the world by storm. It literally smashed box office records left and right, but not everyone was ready to embrace the doll's big adventure. First up was Vietnam. Before the movie even hit theaters, they banned it for showing a world map that featured China's controversial 9-dash line, a big no-no in their eyes. Then came Kuwait, Lebanon, and Algeria, all with their own reasons. Lebanon's culture minister said the movie promoted homosexuality and sexual transformation, while Algeria called it a bad influence that went against religious and cultural beliefs. Even Pakistan hit pause in one province, claiming they needed to review it for objectionable content. Despite all this drama, Barbie didn't slow down one bit. It became a global phenomenon, proving that no amount of bans could dull her sparkle. But man, who knew a pink-clad doll could cause so much fuss? Thank you for sticking through till the end. Did I miss any movies? Let me know in the comments section. If you enjoyed this video, consider leaving a like button. Perhaps if you're interested in more videos like this one, hit the subscribe and notification bell to always know when the new video is up. It's free and you can always change your mind. Your